Awakening autonomously. Trust is a key part of our journey. How do we trust our family, our partnerships, our work peers? How do we trust ourselves? Once that trust is broken, how do we repair it? Is it fixable? What happens when we lose trust in ourselves to make the right decision? These are all things that are motivating factors on how we navigate our journey forward. And trusting that when we put our heart's passion out to the world, that it's not going to be plagiarized. That is something that I think Instagram and social media has really kind of taken and skewed what it means to have originality, to have our own content. And that originality being plagiarized, that's a really tough pill to swallow. That's definitely something that I am struggling with. So I know that I will be shifting things as I go forward into my book publishes, because it's really hard to put your heart out on the line and trust that it's going to be received in a way or shared or expressed in a way that's not going to cause harm, or to be copied, or to have someone lie. How many people use social media to harp on a half-truth or a lie just to slander someone's character just because they're mad at them? So how do we deal with trust when this whole world is just fucked up? Because everyone is so afraid of being left behind. How do we trust ourselves that it's not going to happen like that? So we're going to keep things short this week. We have Firefly to the right, and we have Eagle to the left. And I just am feeling that with trust, we have two aspects that are dealing with the air element, being able to understand our mental thought patterns. Emotions are definitely huge indicators when we feel betrayed in our trust. But how do we think about trust? How do we perceive it? How do we set boundaries? How do we protect ourselves? Do we have defense mechanisms? Are we coping consistently with certain barriers that allow us to trust or maybe not to trust? These are all aspects that our mind is huge in playing a role in influencing how we think and feel about trust. So with the Eagle this week, we are going to be soaring to new heights. It's about that liberation and finding these goals that really set your heart on fire and pursuing them with fearlessness. And with the Ego, you have to see things from a new perspective. So the Ego can allow us to soar above the ego and be able to look down from something that maybe we can get a new vantage point. So this week, if you're dealing with anything to do with trust, it's time to pivot and find a way that we can navigate in a way that makes us feel content, satisfied, and complete. Because if we continue to act in a way that doesn't give us that satisfaction, it's going to eat away at our spirit. So Eagle is saying, please just soar, fly free. Just feel that courage to trust yourself, even if you don't think you can trust anyone else. The one person you can trust is yourself. If you're feeling the vibe of the Firefly this evening, the Firefly is going to be going forward into dealing with that whole concept of just never feeling like you can trust that you have enough energy for your endeavors, being able to take on new projects, do something out of the ordinary, maybe do a physical sport in nature. I love paddleboarding, anything that we would like to do, but we just don't trust that we have the energy for it, or we just feel like we're just in a really dark place. The Firefly is all about, we have to find our light. We have to step into our power and be able to navigate these short bursts of clarity that are coming into our being. And we need at least trust that these are the bursts of information, awareness, clarity, as I was saying, to guide us to that next point in our journey. The Firefly is saying that we need to dig deep, because how we deal in a crisis is really a testament to our character. So if we want to improve anything in our life, we need to take a step back, look at things from a new perspective, and dig deep into our being in order to find our light, even amidst the darkness. So I think that this week, is definitely feeling like we need to trust ourselves despite what everyone else is saying, what the rules of etiquette are. Businesses on social media or any entrepreneurship is like, you have to do this, this, and this, post every single day, share your entire life for the entire world. You don't have to do it just because that's what you're supposed to do or that's what the algorithm says. Whatever you need to do, you need to trust that that is right for you. Not because some blog wrote the 10 top ways to succeed, or your boyfriend or significant other is cheating on you, and these are the 10 telltale signs. No! It is time for you to trust your intuition this week and man up to the plate, step into the unknown with a little bit more confidence because you're going to really impress yourself that you can do something more than you thought you could. So for our final card this week on trust, I feel that this is it. Once again, the mind, the mental aspect of what we just were discussing, being able to allow our mind to see new perspectives. Take the energy of the ego and be able to soar above the ego and see what we can see for ourselves. Take that firefly energy and use your mind to focus more on that light or that aha moment, that awareness that is coming into our being, rather than focusing on the drab, dark despair that might be plaguing our reality. Our mind has the ability to shift our reality, but sometimes our minds can be our greatest Achilles heel, especially if we feel like it can trick us into thinking negatively, or we feel like we have that kind of that naysayer on our shoulder that's always talking into our ear to tell us to do things that get us into trouble. The only way that we can rise above a mind that plays tricks on ourselves is to trust our intuition, to allow this gut center of this third chakra energy to really help unify within our heart chakra consciousness. You can definitely see this yellow energy force field that is coming through, that orange and yellow. That's our creativity, that is our firepower, that is our will to survive. And in order to act upon those instincts, we need to trust ourselves. So don't allow the mind to trick us into believing that we can't do it. Trust that we can, even if our mind is telling us these naysaying doubts. And if not, if your mind is in a place of pristine focus and clarity and trusting yourself, take a challenge. Do something a little bit more outside your comfort zone. Switch it up. Show the world that you are ready for a whole new way of being, that you trust yourself to take on more responsibilities, more abundance, more happiness, more contentment. We have the ability to manifest our reality. And if you want to say destiny takes away our free will, that is our autonomous right to believe so. But if not, our autonomous right is also to manifest our reality forward. So I appreciate you all ignoring ignorance. And I hope that we can find a way to instill a sense of trust in a community of humanity's collective consciousness when everyone is so quick to steal, plagiarize, and take credit for things that aren't theirs. So hold on tight, keep that heart chakra high above all this lament that's going on, and just know that we have another way. And I appreciate you for choosing to ignore ignorance, and have a fabulous week.